It's more challenging than ever to meet the demands of competing priorities that work throws our way. From emails to reports and project proposals, we need help to get it all done. Grammarly is the essential AI communication assistant that boosts your productivity at work so you can get more of what you need done faster, no matter what or where you're writing. Grammarly sets the standard for responsible AI and equips you with the best tools to do your job, like AI-powered features that help you write and edit quickly everywhere you write, or tone features that help you communicate more confidently. Just a few clicks can tailor your tone and writing so you come across exactly as you intend. No wonder 93% of professionals report that Grammarly helps them get more work done. Let Grammarly take the busy work off your plate so you can focus on high-impact work. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/podcast. That's grammarly.com/podcast.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is VSiN's Daily Morning Bets.
We've got some Major League Baseball on a Friday. There are a couple of angles that you can look at and see if they can help you out from a betting perspective. One of them would be the LA Dodgers. Of course, they did clinch the NL West with their victory over the San Diego Padres on Thursday. Now, the Padres are already in as a wild card, but they're now going to begin a series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a pivotal series for the D-backs because while the Hurricane has wreaked havoc on the Mets and the Braves, as those two teams try to figure out, remember, we got 2 spots left in the National League, and there's 3 teams vying for them. Arizona, the Mets, and the Braves. So we'll get to those games. But now the Padres, they're going to put Martin Perez on the bump against Merrill Kelly of the D-backs. The D-backs are $1.30 betting favorites over San Diego, plus $1.10 on the Padres side. I really don't know what the incentive is going to be here for the Padres now that they cannot win the National League West, and they've already wrapped up a wild card. So all the motivation is obviously, and the, I guess you would say, certainly the anxiety might be on the Arizona Diamondbacks side. So to me, I might look to a first 5 play here on Arizona. And again, you don't think that San Diego is just going to mail it in, but it's normally that first day after you either clinch or get eliminated from something where that air gets let out of that balloon, if you will. So to me, that is a look to the Diamondback side. Obviously, earlier in that game, to me, in that first 5, again, full game is Merrill Kelly, $1.30 over San Diego. I mentioned the Mets. They haven't played, it feels like, in forever. And after this hurricane, now those 2 games are going to be made up against the ATL on Monday. They're going to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is in as the 3 seed, period. They can't move. So, again, kind of like that Padres scenario. Now, maybe the Brewers could look at it and say, who do I want to play? Maybe I could help knock out the Mets with a win. But I don't know how interested they're going to be in pushing, say, a Frankie Montas, who's going to be the starter for the Brew Crew, because there's nothing for the Brewers to gain and or lose going forward. They're going to be the 3 seed, and that's the way it is. So, to me, the Mets would be the look here. Sean Manaea has been really good for New York this year. Got to lay $1.25 here. That total is low at 7.5. Obviously, not expecting a whole lot of runs. But the point being here is, if things get behind a little bit for Milwaukee early, maybe you're not going to tax your bullpen. Now it's all going to be about rest for the Brewers, waiting to see who they're going to play, when they're going to play, and aligning everything perfectly because there is no more wiggle room for the Brewers. For the Mets, it's everything. It's everything. And Manaea has been absolutely lights out for them. So to me, the look is to the Mets here at $1.25. And Manaea has been a really pleasant surprise as a Mets backer. Didn't see this coming with Kodai Senga out. He's been their kind of de facto ace if you're really looking at the way he's pitched down the stretch. I mentioned the Braves. They start a very important series, obviously, at home against Kansas City. Now, the ironic part here is, and it's Max Fried against Brady Singer, That's why you got a total of 7.5, juiced evenly and minus $1.10 either way. This is a massive series for both teams because neither one has clinched anything as of yet. You feel like it's going to happen. Seattle, by the way, was officially eliminated last night for the wild cards. We'll get to them in a second. But this is the type of game for the Royals that they're looking at and go, man, we get one of these, we can beat a Max Fried. We're pretty much in any way. It feels like it would take a total collapse here in this final series. But this is maybe an underplay for me at 7.5 because runs will be at a premium. You will push Singer. You will push Fried. By the way, the last start, theoretically, we believe, for Max Fried in the regular season. Is there a chance he can go in one of those double-dip games, maybe in relief? Remember, this is pitching on a Friday and then wrapping up the regular season, weather permitting, on Monday. You don't expect to see Fried. So really, this is his last hurrah. You would think they'd push Max Fried out there as long as they possibly can for the ATL. I don't know that I want to weigh the 205 with the Braves. I might look to that under because I do think runs will be at a premium. I mentioned Seattle, and Seattle do not have a number populating yet. But again, one of those angles will be once you get eliminated like Seattle was officially tonight. Obviously, the Stros had wrapped up the division earlier in the week. You really do, man. You kind of maybe give somebody a rest, let some of the younger guys play, because everything that you kind of fought for is now done. I'd be looking to fade Seattle possibly tomorrow night if those numbers look right. We do have some college football games on a Friday that I want to get to. One of those is one I talked about earlier in the evening with Colby Dant, and I've been looking at this game all week. It's Virginia Tech at Miami, and it's down in Miami. And remember, we've been talking a lot about this hurricane that's been going and wreaking havoc down south. We'll find out what the field looks like. But traditionally there, it doesn't always look good after they've had a lot of rain like they've had. So even though the forecast might be okay for the Canes, I don't know how good the track's going to be. This has been a Virginia Tech play for me all week. Now, I missed the best of the number. It was up as high as 20. I saw out here in town, went to gobble it up, and it was gone. It was back down to 17.5. I do think this is more of a realistic number. But I got to be honest with you. This is one of those games, and Kyron Drones for Virginia Tech has not played to the level that Hokie backers thought he would play at with 2 losses already early in this year. First one at Vanderbilt, then last week at Rutgers. Tech has a way of doing this. They get off to these traditionally slow starts, and then when they hit their stride, they really hit their stride. I'm not saying they're going to beat Miami, okay? Not saying that. But I do like them to stay inside that number at 17.5. And if the field does not dry out and is as dicey as it could be with all that rain they've had down there and really slow down some of those elite athletes that Miami has, I think this could be a potential upset alert game. So for me, I am looking to the Virginia Tech side here, taking those 17.5. That total of 54 is dicey because if the field is bad, it really could mute some of that offense. That team total for Virginia Tech at 17.5. If they're going to win this game outright, you better be hitting that over. That's for sure. If you think the Hokies, like I do, I think they're going to be game, and I think they're going to be in it. Very quickly, just want to wrap this up here for morning bets. We give you a couple plays that I really like for UFC Paris. Talked about this early in the program. Billy Ward, fantastic guest on Thursday night. Nora Cornoli, she is plus $1.70 in a rematch spot here against Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And Cavalcanti right now is minus 205. I think Nora's getting better everywhere. She lost. Cavalcanti is taking this fight on short notice. And I think somebody who was just training for the Iron Lady in Duraname, and that's exactly what Nora was doing. Not saying it's a step down when you fight somebody like Cavalcanti, but yeah, I think there's a really good spot at plus $1.70. I'm looking for the French woman here to get this done on her home turf, if you will. Everybody wants to always know about the main event. I look at Renato Moicano as somebody that I'm actively rooting for. Am I betting him at plus 235? That's the question. I am not, because this is a live match, live fight scenario that I'm going to look to get into. If Moicano can survive Benoit Saint-Denis, he will be live later on in this fight. The problem is, can you get out of those first 10 minutes with BSD? If you go back to the last fight that Moicano just had, he should have lost to Jalen Turner. If you saw the fight and you had a Jalen Turner ticket, I don't even know what to tell you. Because Turner had Moicano out, and instead of dropping down with hammer fists and finishing the fight, what'd he do? He walked away. And when he walked away, it gave Money Moicano those seconds he needed to recover, get back to his feet, and ultimately stop Jalen Turner. So to me, this is a perfect live betting scenario. If you like BSD, I would play Benoit Saint-Denis early in the fight, look for a first-round KO, or inside, you can play the under at 2.5 rounds. Or if you don't like that side, wait. If Moicano survives, he will be live. He'll be live later in the fight rather than earlier. A lot of fun being here on Cashing Out. Joe Serralo will be back next week. Of course, when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to do so on VSiN Morning Line with Michael Lombardi, Grace Remington, and Harrison Sanford. That's at 7 a.m. Eastern. Then we got a numbers game with Gil Alexander. Gil's going to dive into all the numbers you need, and then followed by Money Moves with Patrick Maher and Dustin Sweetelson at noon. Thanks for watching Cashing Out. Cash some tickets. We'll see you next time.